The year is 2010. The economic recession is at an all-time high, and unemployment rates have begun to skyrocket, as the world seems to have no sympathy for young people looking for work. It is a trying time for the current generation. Months slip by as searching for work becomes an endless cycle of dismissal and rejection. I find the predicament to be intriguing, so I have chosen a subject who best characterizes the struggles of a young unemployed American. His days start after noon. Any time before that would give him the illusion of having something to do that made a difference. His days have begun to stretch on, bleeding into one another, making decisions and consequences things of the past as he endures the mediocrity of troubled times. His morning rituals make it appear as though he has purpose, or at least somewhere to be. He seems to have no passion in his movements and has only the instinct to avoid plaque buildup while maintaining the most basic level of hygiene. His goal today is to survive. His cold, lifeless eyes dictate an innate desire to believe in himself, but is constantly on the verge of breaking. With no guidance and no audience to receive him, he is left to his own bewilderment and judgments. He is a creature of slow movement and methodical logic. In the mornings, he must stretch his body so that the muscles do not begin to atrophy as they would for a recently injured snowboarder. We left the cameras rolling and were able to capture a majestic happening. His ritual that is both beautiful and confusing. It is a series of stretches that can only be described as something between a moose and a crab dancing. It is designed to stretch and exercise the most basic muscle groups that will be used for the rest of his days sitting on the couch. With his daily workout complete, he seeks sustenance in the form of simple carbohydrates and calcium deposits. His slow movement and disinterest in his surroundings suggests his dependency on his food supply is minimal at best. Having secured his food, he finds solace in an awkwardly framed sofa. The way he shovels his food into his mouth reminds me of a lobotomized psychiatric patient. I am only reassured by the idea that this will be his only calorie intake for the duration of the day. His movement is so minimal, his body actually generates fat storages as opposed to depleting them. When staring at the wall has lost its ability to entertain him, he finds himself sitting in front of his laptop. In these moments of pure frustration, he attempts the vain exercise of expressing his mind in words and prose. Sustained exertion leaves him without energy, and he is forced to stare longingly at the outside world which has forsaken him to his lifestyle.
I have found it interesting in the wake of this American wasteland, the inherent beauty to behold in even the simplest of images. The contrasting lines of human invention juxtaposed to the breezy curvatures of nature do not cease to exist in this economic climate. My only concern is for my subject, in his lack of exposure to his environment. In the twilight hours, he explores more creative avenues. Using a charcoal stick and a sketch pad, he attempts to draw his thoughts and feelings on paper, hoping for the chance to quantify his existence and rationalize his disillusionment. More often than not, he is only able to produce abstractions of reality, images that seem to hold their own misaligned focus, with no real purpose in their creation. Other times he finds himself doodling poodles to no particular end. When his creativity is drained, he relocates himself to the sanctity of his couch. Here he waits in various positions as his Netflix account struggles to buffer. Amidst the slow internet speeds, he finds himself contorting to evenly distribute his blood flow and to avoid slipping into a prenatal coma. His dedication for waiting to the slow internet speeds only makes me wonder what he could be doing with his time that would be more worthwhile.
I have found in my observations that there is more to my subject than his routine suggests. I see brief glimpses of him becoming the man he is meant to be, and with every step to overcome the allure of modern routine, I see a driving force for the greater good of society. And though his path is unclear, and the road ahead is untraveled, he needs only to find the courage to make the choices that will right the wrongs of his forefathers. He steps out onto shattered grounds with hope in his heart, knowing that no choice is ever a wrong one. His faith in himself and determination to overcome mundanity are the embodiment of the new American lifestyle. Only those who are brave enough can live what they dare to dream.